What's up, Chuckleheads? It's Ibitwe. This is probably the biggest bot I've written this season. This is sort of the one that started it all. I had been, using bots somewhat in past seasons for a few little things, but the introduction of Overdrive mode and honestly how boring it is to play over and over again really made me go back to botting this game. So on the first or second day of the season, I created the first version of this script, and it slowly evolved through the season, or at least through the first few months of the season. I haven't had to change it in a pretty long time. But basically, it'll play an Overdrive game, and then it'll play another one, and another one after that. So it saves a lot of time. Very good for, farming up blitz tokens, experience points, things like that. Plus, if you're okay with playing bots all the time, you can just leave it in unranked and it'll play bots over and over again. And as long as you haven't been scoring, highly recently in ranked, it'll keep playing bots. The bots will continue to score relatively poorly, which means you can win just about every single game, which is also good for rewards. Like the season game playing bot, it's focused mostly on rushing yards. At least this version of it is. Some of the others I have for passing yards if I want to accumulate passing yards. But this main one's mostly based in rushing yards unless it gets a pressure which requires you to pass. And if that happens, then it will attempt to execute a pass play, which, doesn't always work. But, if I'm using it, it doesn't always work anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Plus, again, playing bots, you're not going to lose anyway unless your MMR is ridiculously high. So here we go. We got a passing challenge, and it's gonna attempt to do it. I don't know if it will. In this case, it will. So that one it passed. It doesn't always. But that's a nice little added bonus. Plus, I figure it looks a little bit suspicious to EA if they look at somebody who's played, a couple thousand Overdrive games, which no healthy person should do, in my opinion. And they see that they've called nothing but rushing plays even when they get passing challenges. I feel like that looks a little suspicious, so I at least want to, make it look a little bit more realistic as if somebody was actually playing these games. So there we go. That was another passing challenge. That one, it completed the pass, but it wasn't for enough yards. So, that's how it goes sometimes. At least it tries. And then still breaks off a huge run and, picks up almost 100 points off it. So winning is not an issue unless your bots are, scoring almost 1,000 points. And then as soon as this game ends, it's gonna, close all the little pop-ups, go back to the menu, close any more pop-ups there, and then start the next game. Yep, so in this case, it was daily goals, one of those daily achievement packs, so those can be kind of annoying and get in the way if they pop up when you're not prepared to deal with them, so I built something in to take care of any pop-ups like that might show up between games. That way, if I'm running it, while I'm asleep or if I'm out for the day, I don't have to worry about it getting hung up on something like that.